Hi, I'm Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I'm here in Houston, and I have Ernest Bezdek from the Port of Beaumont with me. Welcome, Ernest.
Hi, Leslie. Thank you very much for having us again this year. Really appreciate what Breakbulk does for the industry in Houston and around the world by hosting this event. It's really a great event for the shipping community, and we really appreciate that.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I think I'll have to do a tally tonight, but I think that we have more countries from all around the world that have convened here in Houston than we've ever had before. So
It looks like a great turnout.
last year when we spoke, it was in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey.
Right.
And I know that certainly affected you at the port.
Yeah.
Tell us, what the cleanup efforts were and how the port is now. What did you have a lot to reconstruction, or what needed to happen there?
We did. We lost 14 feet of draft. Hurricane Harvey was what they classify as a 1,000-year storm. So for another 1,000 years, we won't have another event
safe.
like that.
That's right. Knock on wood, knock on my head.
Exactly.
Something.
But we lost some draft. The Army Corps of Engineers came in quickly and restored our draft for our vessels getting in and out. We lost probably about 2 weeks of business, okay? But we got back active real quick. Labor came back, and we were working again within about 2 weeks after the storm. So
I
it was
think
great.
that's a miracle.
It is. And I'll just kind of transition into our past year. That did not stop us from having another record financial year. So the port is doing very well. This is the second record financial year for the port. We've done very well with our business, and very diversified too. We've got a very diversified account base, project cargo, breakbulk primarily, very little containers. Of course, we're the #1 military port in the world. So we also have our friends with the U.S. Army, and we do a lot of business with the military. But we've also invested in infrastructure. Our infrastructure investment, our capital improvement program right now is about $700 million. And the beautiful part about that is $500 million of that is public-private partnership type of funds. So,
What does that mean?
Well, that means a company comes in and is willing to invest their money in a public facility. So they're putting in close to $500 million in infrastructure on port property, and that's in exchange for a long-term lease. Okay, and they'll be doing business with the port for many years and investing in infrastructure.
So what will that look like?
That will look like actually a crude oil handling facility. So we'll be bringing in unit trains of crude oil and ethanol and other products that will come into the port, and then will be distributed via pipeline, via barge, via ship from the Port of Beaumont. And that's, of course, liquid products, and it's something that we haven't really done a lot of in the past, so this is a new venture for the port. But the beauty part about it is that public-private partnership. It's just really good to be able to bring in some of the money from private companies and corporations to invest in our community. We've also got about $10 million in FEMA money that we'll be investing in some overpasses and some infrastructure, port infrastructure. And then the port and the citizens of Jefferson County will be investing about $100 million in infrastructure, primarily docks and wharves on the port.
Okay.
And of course, it's a big issue with U.S. ports is infrastructure and the declining infrastructure. Ports are getting old, docks are getting old, and those docks have to be rebuilt. And those large docks cost a lot of money. So
Absolutely.
So we're investing about $100 million in that project.
That is fantastic. So what is the timeline for all these improvements?
This is probably over the next several years. The one berth that we are rebuilding is what we call Main Street Terminal 1. It will be primarily a project pier. Will also handle military equipment. And that's a 3-year project. They'll begin demolition by the end of this year, and then probably sometimes in 2020, maybe early 2021, we'll have a brand new, beautiful berth to be able to handle additional cargo.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it should increase our capacity by about 25%.
Wow.
So if we're doing well now, we'll be doing really well in 2021.
Absolutely. Well, I'm certainly hopeful that I will talk to you well before that.
Okay.
Right? So
Very
we'll
good.
catch up at our 30th anniversary next year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you again for having me.
All right. Thank
All right.
you so much.
All right.